Well, hallelujah and praise the Most High today, family. Praise the Most High Yahuwah today. The Most High Elohim, Yahuwah Sabaoth, the captain of heavens and earthly armies. The captain, the owner, commander-in-chief, the one, the only, Yahuwah Sabaoth. Hallelujah. Family, it's warm out here today. It's up here 9:30, 9:40, 9:38. Yeah, family. You see me with the glasses, don't you? I messed around and left them in the house today. I got up the road to hair a little bit and said, well, I better turn back because I don't think I can get this recording done without these glasses. Even though the tablet, I can magnify it up to let the words a little better so I can see them, but no, it won't worth it. Family, I feel so much better today. I was doing the beetroot powder and the moringa powder, but the Most High had me go on a fast one time and told me not to get back on them. I was like, uh-oh. And I think it's the people I bought it from. They sell other items that they trying to get people on. So they could be sliding you something in this item to get you on that item. Which all of them out to make money, family. You gotta do your homework. Or like our idea for today, you gotta do some divine reflections. Uh-oh. And that means peeping back. And I'll share this before we get started. Let me first say I hope everyone is well and that, like myself, you're able to get out and enjoy this day. Getting yourself in some fresh air, some sunshine, and the Most High willing, some good exercise. Now, what I was going to say is, after I had that first open heart surgery, my doctor put me on a certain type of medication. And the Most High said, you better check what you're putting in your system. I said, uh-oh. So I did some research. And one of the first articles I pulled up, it said that this heart medication may be good in the short term, but in the long term, it does more damage to the heart and kidneys and liver, as well as the other major organs in your body. I said, uh-oh, I already been on this too long. And I need to get on off it. So I told the doc, I don't want no more of this medication. And he said, why not? I said, I did some research on it, and it's doing my heart more damage than it's doing it good. Is there something else I can take? And he was like, well, this is the best for you. I'm like, okay, I won't take nothing else. So I came up off all that mess, starting with that. And if you notice, they try to get you on that dope because they getting paid for it. They getting $1 or $2 off each prescription they write. I didn't know that either until I did my research. And see, the Most High will cause you to do some divine reflections. That means looking back over your situations, your life. Be like, yeah, I remember this. That don't look right. So what he's had me to do here in the last couple of fasts I've been on, we just do watermelon. Watermelon, fresh pineapple. And yesterday, I picked up some beetroot, and it's not as much as folks make it out to be. We spend more than that on French fries. It was like $2.50 for I think I got like 4 small heads of the beetroot itself, and I took it home and chopped it up and ate it this morning with my pineapple and my watermelon. And family, I feel absolutely wonderful, and I can feel it from the inside out. And a lot of things don't really make me feel that good, that I can tell. Of course, watermelon makes me feel good because I can feel the water flushing my insides, cleaning me. But as I said, we done let the cat out of the bag with our title. I do enjoy getting this sun in. Let me get that in. See if I can get a few more of them rays. Before they escape us. Hallelujah. Well, family, let me ask the question. What do you perceive divine reflection to mean in your life? Divine reflection. And we already gave out one meaning, and that's thought, deep thought, reflecting over a past event or a past thought. But what else? Give me some participation today. What do you think the Most High is calling us to have divine reflection in today? Or of? Or who? Yep, of Yahusha. The one that the text calls for us to follow. Not only does he tells us to follow himself, but Saul said, follow me as I follow him. That's going to put a whole lot of folks in trouble who say the laws and statutes are done away with. The feast days are done away with. No, he followed Mashiach. Matter of fact, it was just custom. It wasn't a question whether the law and statutes were done away with. The text says, do this forever. This is a covenant forever. Once you break this covenant, you will be out and handed over to your enemies, where we find ourselves now. So any fool, and I said it, fool teaching that you don't have to follow the laws, statutes, and commands and keep his feast days is a liar. And as the text says, they're the least in the kingdom of the Most High. And of course we know where the least are: in prison, locked up for eternity, in hell, which is being turned over into the lake of fire. Hallelujah. But let's look at what Yahusha said as far as this divine reflection. Well, I think we better first give the meaning of it. Divine is the term that generally refers to something of, from, or like Yahuwah. It can also mean extremely pleasing or attractive. Essentially, it denotes a connection to the sacred or the higher power, or can describe something of exceptional quality. Exceptional quality. And let's look at reflection. And reflection in physics is the change in direction of a wave, like light or sound, when it bounces off a surface, returning into the medium it originated from. In a broader sense, reflection refers to the act of mirroring or giving back an image, or the process of serious thought and consideration, which we just spoke of. In light reflection, when light strikes a surface, it can be reflected, meaning it bounces back instead of passing through. This is how we see images in mirrors or when light reflects off water. And sound reflection, similar to light, sound waves can also be reflected, creating echoes. Go on, buddy, go on. Go on, go on. Listen to me now. I'm trying to tell you something good. And water waves also demonstrate reflection when they bounce off barriers. Reflection as representation. Image. A reflection can be an image produced by or as if by a mirror, such as a reflection in a calm lake. And synonyms, words like image, echo, counterpart, or likeness can be used as synonyms for reflection in this context. Reflection as thought and consideration, which we just spoke about. Careful thought. Reflection can also mean careful thought or contemplation on a subject, which is always good, family, to take a peek back in that rearview mirror. Just like when you're driving, you just can't stare there in the rearview mirror because you'll crash going forward and you'll be living in the past. But it's good to take a peek back, just like you check all your mirrors all the time when you're driving. You scan the mirrors to make sure you're doing that 360. See, family, you always want to keep a 360 peek at what's going on around you. Just like me looking all the time, I'm looking back every few minutes to make sure I'm clean, I'm good. But this is how we do in looking back and reflecting our past. Just like the example I gave before about what goes into my body. We also have to do the same as far as the people, places, and things we continue to allow in our lives, or we go into, just like going to a certain place that no longer serves you, or allowing people into your life that no longer serves you. Other words associated with this meaning include consideration, contemplation, mediation, and rumination, compulsively focusing on one's own negative thoughts. Oh boy. Just as we said, we're speaking on reflecting Him and His words and purpose. Reflection in this sense is often used to analyze past experiences, learn from them, and improve future actions. And reflective practice. I like this one. This term is often used in professional development to describe the process of thinking critically about one's work to improve. Very important. And that's in everything we do, every aspect of our lives. We're always looking to improve it. The process of critical thinking. Hallelujah. Divine reflection generally refers to the concept that humanity in some way reflects or mirrors the divine nature or attributes of Yahuwah, the highest power. This can be understood in various ways, including reflecting Yahuwah's creative power, reflecting Yahuwah's love and mercy, and reflecting Yahuwah's image and likeness. Hallelujah. And as we said before, Yahusha is our greatest example of reflecting the divine or divine reflection. And he says there in John 12:49, "For I have not spoken on my own, but the Father who sent me has himself given me the command about what I am to say and how I am to speak. I only say what I hear the Father saying." And that's well understood. I only say and do what I see the Father say and do. Just like we are. That's how we reflect His divine nature. Well, He's telling us, just like I got quiet this morning, I'm seeking His face so I can be a divine reflection of Him when we do these recordings and the way I walk and talk each day. And family, a lot of times, Just as I heard a sister say on yesterday, on the Shabbat, she was saying that your situation is not always going to look favorable, like the favor of the Most High's hand is on your life. Yes, his hand of favor is on you, but it's not always going to look favorable. Matter of fact, most of the time it's going to look opposite of favorable. And that's what we're saying as far as how we're acting. A lot of times it's not going to look like what people would expect. And that's because they don't know him. And they never have reflected him. They just hear what other folks say you're supposed to look like, you're supposed to act like, you're supposed to sound like. And they're the blind leading the blind into the hole, or into the ditch, or into the pit, which all describes hell, which is being turned over into the lake of fire, that lava. Oh boy. Hallelujah. But this idea today, family, we're speaking completely about Yahushua's life and how he reflected the Most High in all he said and did. Right up to the end, when he was in that garden, he kind of slid for a second, but he was just testing the water. That was his human nature, testing the water. He didn't slide. He was just being himself. He said, well, Pop, is there any other way we can go through with this? And Yahuwah just got quiet on him. So he knew what it was. He said, nevertheless, not my will, but your will be done. The way you said we're going to do it your way. I can't interject in this moment. See, the Most High let us talk to him and give us a feeling and give us a feeling that we're helping make decisions. But we're not. Not the least. It's all about him and his doing. He'll place things in our hearts, just like I started off just a minute ago. I sit and get quiet before him, just like this morning with this idea. I got up real sleepy. And I hear him in my ear. It's just a loud ringing, just like an alarm clock, getting louder and louder. Plus with the thoughts he's telling me, louder and louder. Finally, I get up and like, whew, jump up, Holloway reporting, sir. Then by the time I sit back down on the bed, I can hear the alarm clock going silent. That's when I know I gotta get quiet and listen. So this morning I did the same, and I try not to close my eyes too tough. I try not to close my eyes too tough, because I know what the next thing is going to be. I'd be done slipped off. But the Most High is faithful, family. But yeah, the Most High is faithful, family. And we want to be that divine reflection of him from, like I said, when we wake up and get our orders. And he just whispered, divine reflection. Divine reflection. And I'm good. I'm done. I know what he's talking about. And from then, it's just little thoughts, scripts that formulate the idea. But it's all him. It's all him. Just as our sister Semaya, she was speaking on how we got to keep it 100 about him. And she was commenting on one of our prior recordings. And I was like, you are so correct. It's all about him. Every thought, every unction is of his doing. So we got to stay in pocket and not jump out of pocket. See what that word means in pocket, playing pool, is when you shoot a shot, bah, and that ball jumps in the hole and jumps back out on the table or off the table. So they call that getting out of pocket. And that's how we are with the Most High. When we're already secured with the shot, he already secured the shot with us. And we come jumping back out the hole. Jumping out from under his protection. When all he wants us to do is reflect him. It's simple. And it's not a whole lot of work. It's just doing and saying what he tells you to do and say, just like Yahushua. And more than anything else, it takes studying. I meant to pull up that script, but we know the idea. Yahushua always slid away. And what was he doing them 33 years before? He was up in the temple, studying and debating with the teachers. Just like when he was 12, I believe, and they went to Jerusalem on the feast day, and he stayed over there. He stayed over, and his parents got frantic and was looking for him, and went back. And his mother said, "Why are you doing this to us? Don't you know we was worried about you?" He said, "Didn't you know I must be at my father's business?" Now, from that age, at 12, what was he at? He was at his father's business. And what was that business? Studying to show himself approved. And the text says he found favor in the sight of man and Yahuwah. He grew in stature. And that wasn't just talking about his size, his physical size. That means he was studying to show himself approved. Hallelujah. He was wanting to know everything he could know about the Father and how he dealt, which I'm sure eventually he found his position, his space, and what he had to sacrifice. See, he already knew it, family. That's why when he went to him, he said, "Is there any other way we can do this? Is there any other way we can handle your business, Pop? Because I'm after your business now. That's why I'm here." And the Father just got silent. He said, "Nevertheless, not my will, your will. You the boss, not me. Let's get it." And that's how we should be every moment we wake up. How can I be a divine reflection of the divine, of Yahuwah? Or how can I be a reflection of Yahuwah today? In my actions, in my talk, in my walk, in my speech, in everything I say and do. Because I only say and do what I hear him say and do. From the dreams, the visions, the whispers in the ears, that's all I'm about. I can't be about nothing else. He didn't save me from my old self to go back, to revert back to who I was and start picking up back on them old habits. No. That's why I say off on my own in his face. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Powerful idea, family. I hope it helps somebody like it helped me. Family, do stay up and keep pushing forward in the right direction. Shalom. Hallelujah.